Hi and welcome, it's Ruth here at artfulstampin.co.uk. Welcome to the Stamp Around UK video hop for December. It's black and gold month. So I was looking through my stash and I came across this paper, but the problem is it's grey. So I'm going to show you how very quickly we can turn this to black and gold. So that's one thing I'm going to do. Then my plan is to then maybe emboss some of these in gold, make some really pretty flowers and decorate a box. All right, haven't done that for a little while with you guys, so I thought that would be a fun thing to do. Now my only problem is this is also the wrong colour. So I'm going to experiment with a black ink pad. Oh, there it is. I was looking around for it. And to see if I can very quickly make this darker, particularly the sides, because once the box is actually shut, you don't really kind of tend to notice it. But let's have a look and see if we can do this really easily by just rubbing a black ink pad over the paper. Now, these boxes, just be warned, make sure you colour the right side. They are supposed to be food safe, and I think that's because, look, there's a shiny side to make it, you know, repellent to any moisture. So make sure you're not trying to ink that, because there's no way that this ink pad, because this is water-based, would not really stick to that. Okay, so it's not fully dark, but I think I'm happy with that result. It just, you know, it stops it looking so pale and white. So I'm going to take the executive decision of saying that'll do. That'll be enough, I think, for what we're doing. So let's have a look at what this is like actually made up. I've got ink all over my hands now, never mind. So these, now I wouldn't put any food stuff in this now because look, it's got ink on it. But these make up very easily. I do recommend that you fold all the pieces that need folding. You know, anywhere that you see a score mark, actually do the fold, because it does make it easier for when you want to actually put it all together. So these are the mini, I don't know if they're actually called paper pumpkin boxes. They may be called the mini paper pumpkin boxes. But anyway, they're super fun. So when it comes to putting it together, if you just bring this section up and then this one together there, this folds over and should click into place. You kind of feel it slot in. So these are really easy to put together to make little gift boxes. Either for birthday presents, Christmas presents, whatever you want to use them for, really. See how easy was that? Now there's these little slits that then pop out because you don't need those now, and that's all the wastage that's part of that box. So there we go, there's my box ready to decorate. So as I said, I want to turn this paper black. What I'm going to do is just cut it down. Let me just double check the size of this. So this is just under 4 inches wide. So if I cut this down to 3.5 by 5.5, that should be okay. The only thing is this one doesn't have a 5.5, so never mind. We'll cut this down to 3.5 to start off with. And that should make life a little bit easier for me. I've got a feeling my big trimmer, I thought I brought it back in here. We were using it over the weekend to do some cutting for, well, my husband was using it. Every so often he goes, Ruth, where's your, he calls it the guillotine. But there we go. We've been making leaflets and things to give out about our church activities. So lots of printing and cutting and all that kind of thing. Right, there we go. That's my piece. That's my panel. That's all I need for that. So here's my little trick. Because this has got gold foil already on it, it's going to repel any water-based ink that you put on it. So I just got my black Stampin' Right marker and just started colouring in all the paper, and afterwards went over with a tissue, and I suppose you could actually go over it with a brush or a sponge if you wanted to, and that was enough to kind of re-burnish or re-clean up those edges not the edges, sorry, the gold. Because at the moment you can see there's a tiny little bit of black wanting to sit on top of that gold foil. But of course it's not going to soak in because it's foil. So now where's my tissue gone? I had a tissue at the side ready to use. I'll grab another one. So look, all you need to do is give that a bit of a wipe and then have a look at it to see where else needs a bit of extra marks or markings, because you don't get it all in the first run. You just add a bit extra along there. And then I'm just going to fill that in. So how easy was that? Right, I'm going to finish off doing this and then I'm going to come back to you and do the flowers. Here I have already stamped out with Versamark ink some of the flowers that I want to have embossed. So I'm just going to pop some gorgeous gold embossing powder over these images and this will reveal them to you. There you have it. And then I'm going to get my heat tool out and warm these up. So here we go, that gorgeous process of heating up the embossing powder and watching it melt and just turn into this beautiful embossed image. I've heard it said so often that this is the process that sometimes impresses people so much to fall in love with paper crafting. They just love this process. So if you haven't tried heat embossing, it is super fun. And there's lots of other beautiful techniques that you can do with it. Now I decided to stamp this thank you for everything because I thought the box would make such a lovely kind of like thank you box for somebody. So there we go, nearly finished. Isn't that gorgeous? Love this process. And it's a great way of putting a metallic finish onto any card really, but particularly on this black. This is basic black, or any dark cardstock really. Right, so let's find my punch, and actually I think I'll cut this section off because I don't want to damage that. So just cut that out. I can worry about making it nice later. So I'm just going to push my punch in. Now I don't want that to be cut into either. Oh dear. Right, okay, let's start at this. Oh no, that's going to get cut into. Right, so tip, if you have to do this where you're cutting individual images, sticky notes are definitely your friend in this instant. So here's a tip for you guys. Grab your sticky note and then pop it in there. Now I also want to see which direction, actually I'll do the big ones first, which direction I need to go enter the punch with, because your sticky note can reach further down into the punch than your fingers can. So there we go. Punch that out. There's our lovely flower. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these out and then I'll come back to you. So I've cut all my little pieces out, all my embossed pieces ready to stick on, and I've also grabbed the black dimensionals because we're using so much black in this. It's good to have the black dimensionals because if you catch a glimpse of the white, it can look a little bit odd when you've got a predominantly dark project. So I like to have them on hand for doing the darker projects. So that's my piece of paper going down. Now I'm afraid I'm going to have to apologise for using this retired doily, but I felt that I needed a little bit more gold on here. And this is a lesson to you that if you see some products that Stampin' Up have and you're going, oh, I know it's retiring, but do I need it? If you think you're going to make use of it, it is worth just having a few in your stash just in case. So, you know, we don't always carry everything. Does that make sense? You know, as a company, they can't always stock gold doilies, so they're kind of quite seasonal. But this year we haven't had any, and And so sometimes there's a die that you can get that's suitable, that you can cut your own. And then sometimes, you know, they do them ready cut for you. So when you see them and you think you can use them, it's worth grabbing them. So I'm just shaping a little bit these flowers that I've made. And incidentally, a few years ago, we actually used to carry the gold wink of Stella, which I think I do have somewhere, but that would have looked fabulous on this. I was going to say I might cheat and use some, but I'm just thinking that I've got some really nice gold, like little diamantes or something that could go in the middle of these flowers. And of course, our theme is gold and black, so that's kind of in keeping with it all, isn't it? So I could do that. So I'm just layering up those flowers. You can see there how pretty that looks. Then we've got our thank you for everything. Struggling to say that then. I'm trying to think where to put. Actually, up there might be a bit more appropriate because it makes it a bit more obvious. There we go. That's quite nice. So please do go and check out all the other hoppers in this vlog hop. In the description below will be a list of all the people participating. So grab yourself a cup of tea and have a nice hop around looking at all our fabulous black and gold projects. I've got a feeling it's going to be a good one this month because of the theme. Right, there we go. That's my thank you for everything. I think the last thing that remains for me to do is to find something really pretty to go in the middle. Oh yes, oh I'm so pleased I get to use the brushed metallic adhesive dots. These are in the mini catalogue and I love them. They are so classy, if I can get them off. Oh dear, they don't ever behave, do they, when you need them to. So there we go. Look at that. Isn't that a finishing touch to that? Yeah, these are super classy because they're brushed. So they're not super duper shiny. Not behaving today. Oh, it might be because we've had slightly colder weather. Sometimes that happens if the glue gets a bit cold. It doesn't always behave as well. So there we go. Right, there we have it. Thank you for joining me, guys, and see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye.